Hi everybody, my name is Phoebe. I'm a registered dietitian with the VNA and Hospice of the Southwest region, and we're here today with a group who is going to observe us making a lentil soup. So as I mentioned, we have about less than 10 ingredients, and we're going to be able to prepare a healthy, high fiber, low sodium soup in less than half an hour. I promise you'll have leftovers too. Now, for the sake of time, I just want to let you know I did wash my hands. The best thing to do is to wash your hands for 20 minutes in soapy, hot, warm water. Don't burn your hands. And now we're going to start. So we're going to start making something called a mirepoix. I hope I said that correctly. I do not speak French, but I've been practicing. And a mirepoix just means a mix of celery, onions, and carrots. We'll add in some garlic as well. So I have my celery, my onions, and carrots. So we use a little olive oil. And again, we're not going to add salt until the end because we just want to make sure that we're keeping this as low sodium as possible. We're using about a cup of carrots, about a cup of celery, and about a small onion. I think what I'm going to do, because I like to kind of use my creativity as I go along. So I'm going to start by sauteing the garlic a little bit at first. Sorry, it's getting hot. So has anybody ever had lentil soup before? We just talked about that before, but our audience does not know. So this is really easy. You just take a couple cloves of garlic, you dice them up, and saute them. I'm using this big pot. Normally I would just use a saucepan, but I'm using this big pot because it's going to make room for the lentils that we already prepared ahead of time. And while this is heating up, I'll explain to you how I prepared the lentils. So I took 2 cups of dried lentils right here. I don't know where you guys want to see, but just 2 cups of dried lentils and 2 cups of water, and I simmered them for about 20-25 minutes in a saucepan. I actually used this saucepan and then transferred them here. So these are ready to go. Lentils are wonderful because they're small enough where you do not have to soak the beans ahead of time. Like I said, these were dry from the start, so we did prepare them a little bit. You don't always have to. If you have time, you can add them into your mixture. But that's what we did. So now this is sauteing a little. We got some garlic. You guys smell that. So now we'll just add in everything else. You see, we haven't added any salt yet, right? Just doing vegetables. Anybody have any questions from the audience? Speak up. I'm going to add a little more olive oil and just start cooking this down. You can cover it, but we're not in a huge rush. We just want to make it so that it gets softened. So some other things that you could add in to your mixture. I mean, right now we're only really using, like I said, carrots, onions, celery, garlic, lentils. We'll use some chicken broth. We'll use a few spices, a little vinegar at the end, tomatoes, if people like them. Is anyone opposed to tomatoes? Some people don't like them? Okay. Everyone's so quiet. Does the audience usually talk during these things? No? Even you. Anybody have any good soup recipe ideas for the future here? No?
Well, I love a good chili. I'm all in.
Thank you, Heather.
And on Sunday, as part of Winterfest, we are going to be having a chili cook-off. So much fun.
Oh, this Sunday?
Yeah.
All right, so there's a chili cook-off in Depot Park this Sunday, February 22nd. What time?
11 to 1.
11 to 1. What do you need to bring?
Nothing.
You just bring yourself?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And people will participate there as different chili
We
makers?
have individuals as well as groups that have entered, and actually have more registered than any other time in Winterfest. So it's going to be a lot of chili tasting.
Are you cooking?
No, I'm not.
Okay, in that case, I'll come.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, it would probably be better.
So I was thinking, I like to make, I was telling the audience earlier, I don't really like to cook a lot of meat, but I will make meat, like a meat in a stew, and I like beef stew. It also, a little goes a long way. You could add a lot of vegetables into it. And I have a little trick for tenderizing meat. Does anybody know how to tenderize meat in a beef stew? Yeah, you could manually tenderize it, yes. That's one way. But normally beef stew, chuck meat, or roast, those are gonna be really tough, right? So when you're got all your ingredients in the beef stew, your tomatoes, your potatoes, your carrots, your diced beef, maybe you add some red wine, that can help. But the real trick is Coca-Cola to tenderize your beef in a beef stew. You know that, Heather? Yeah. So not much. It's going to probably add a similar sweetness as like a sweet red wine. It's definitely that phosphoric acid, that carbonation, and the sugar in the regular Coca-Cola. You wouldn't want to use like diet or anything. That's going to help tenderize. And I tell you, at the very end, when you think your beef is too tough, you add in a half cup of that, per batch. You're all set.
You don't cook a little bit more?
Yeah, you cook it like an hour, I think, after that. I usually put it in at the end because I want it to be the most effective. Plus, I start to get a little impatient but then it magically almost does it. Magically tenderizes it in that period of time. So, anybody else have any other cooking questions, nutrition questions? We're almost done with this. This will take a couple more minutes.
Pickle juice. Do you use pickle juice?
I have actually used pickle juice as a tenderizer. Yeah.
You mentioned how to use
Yeah. And you can do that with, I would use it like with chicken, marinating chicken with pickle juice. Even if you guys you're from Massachusetts, you like seafood, tuna steaks, they need to be marinated pretty well, right? So you could use pickle juice there. That's a good flavoring to marinate that. Any other questions for marinades? Anybody have any tips to share? No? Well, I think I'm just about ready to put these lentils in here, actually. I don't know, do you guys like a little bit of crunch? Not crunch, but you know what I mean. Do you like a little toothiness to your vegetables, or do you want them cooked?
I like them cooked.
Fully cooked? Okay.
It's not the most nutritious way.
No, it takes probably about 10 minutes to get these guys fully cooked for your soup. Now, this batch, I think, will feed about 10 people. Like I said, it's 2 cups of lentils, 2 cups of water. You simmer that ahead of time for 25 minutes. Then you're gonna simmer your mirepoix, your carrots, your celery, and your onion after you saute the garlic for a little bit. And by the time that you see it really heating up here, it's just about ready to add the lentils. Anybody opposed to any spices? We're gonna add garlic, onion powder. We've got some cumin. How do you say it? Cumin? Art's the expert, right? Anybody opposed to cumin? Okay, cool. Well, just a couple more minutes here. So what other activities do we have for Winterfest going on?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
Snow sculpting starts today. The Winterfest cook-off.
Snow sculpting?
Yep. Starts tonight at 5 o'clock in Depot Park. So we're going to have the great cook-off, or the And then tomorrow, the snow sculpting continues. So this is actually one of the qualifiers for the national snow sculpting competition. So it's a pretty big deal. We have some fantastic
Really?
sculptors that come every year.
That's cool.
And then the judging will be on Sunday. We also have, so we will be doing.
Great weekend for it too.
As well as the chili cook-off. So we have a lot going on even Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Continuing on into Tuesday, which is fantastic.
I'm going to the curling.
Yeah, curling.
There's curling?
Yeah, they say you get a chance to do it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know, I've been watching that in the Olympics. It looks like so much fun. I've never tried it.
Yeah, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
I went to a place in Massachusetts once. I can't remember where it was, but it was like an Olympic rink for curling. It was fun. Yeah. Seems like.
So we have, either way, we have snowshoes that will be available, or you could bring your own. So we're creating just a small track. Although with the snow we're getting tonight, I think it's going to be a pretty fantastic track. But so VNA is sponsoring it. We will have physical therapists there to just give some tips and tricks about.
Oh, wow.
safety.
Nice.
But yeah, just a short track to be able to walk around. Yeah.
So that you will have snowshoes available for
We will have
tonight's
snowshoes.
event at 5 o'clock in the park. Awesome.
And what about the sledding event? That sounds fun.
Yeah,
Main
the
Street.
sledding, Center Street sledding is on Tuesday night. So we closed down the entire street. It is sponsored by Accelerate and Killington. So Killington helps come down and brings the snow blowers. So we have some fantastic snow. And then we have two tracks that fly right down that hill. I have done it pretty much every year, and I can tell you, you move fast.
And they provide inner tubes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they bring all of their tubes from the tubing park at Killington.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, yeah. That
Cool.
is actually one of our biggest events every year.
Will there be music or?
Yeah, we have a DJ
Nice.
going. This year we had some warming stations because last year was a bit
Very
chilly.
cold.
And restaurants have some really great specials going on. Yeti Bean specials to keep it all on brand. So yeah, super
Cool.
fun. Really good.
All right, well, back to our soup. I think we're ready. What did I say? 10 minutes, right? So 25 minutes of pre-cooking the lentils, nothing. No salt, no seasoning, just 2 cups of water, 2 cups of dried lentils, covered, simmered, and they're ready. Obviously, you need to stir them a little bit. Then you do your mirepoix, your carrots, your onions, your celery, and you cook that for about 10 minutes. You don't want to overcook your mixture there, your carrots and your onions and your celery too much because they're going to cook in the lentils as well. So this is when we need to add our broth. So I think we've got some chicken broth, right? You could use beef broth. You could use, this is chicken broth. So you could make it vegan by adding, vegetable broth. You could just use water. You could use, you could use a little pickle juice, but it could get a little funny tasting if you did that, right? So we're just going to use 1 can of chicken broth here. Add that. And we'll add in some spices. We need some pepper. And we definitely need a little bit of salt, right? I think so. Since you tasted them without anything, they need some salt. What? First I'm going to, only a little. Could do the salt, coarse salt. Anybody have any questions about different kinds of salts that are out there? Celtic salt, Maldon salt.
If you're using regular salt, iodized salt.
Yeah.
And then you've got the kosher salt. What is and the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons.
Oh, because the kosher salt is coarser? Yeah, I think it just depends. You kind of want to grind it up. So it's going to depend on whether it's going to be cooked so that it can melt away. But usually these grinders are good for any kind of salt or even coarse pepper too. Does that answer your question? Yeah. All right, so we've got some salt, some pepper. We'll add some cumin. I already put in garlic, but do you guys mind if I add a little more garlic powder? Okay. And so I have onion and cumin. I do like to put mushrooms in mine too, but not everybody is a mushroom person. So I did cook some ahead of time if anybody wants to add them.
Sounds like you can pretty much add anything to this.
Yeah, right? I think so. I don't know. I get on these kicks where I like to cook like the same thing for a long time, like maybe a couple weeks. And then I might not be the only one that gets sick of it after that. But I never get sick of the lentil soup. I think it's fantastic. So we're just going to cook that covered for a little bit. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. We'll do that. Simmer it up, and then we'll add in our acid because the acid brightens it up. If you ever hear on a cooking show where someone says, oh, let's brighten this up, what does that mean? You want to add in something citrus or acidic, and it helps bring all the flavors together a little bit better. I'm not that fancy of a cook, but I like to use these tricks. I'd like to hear some of your tricks. Anybody else got some cooking tricks up their sleeve? Oh, we just use green lentils, dry green lentils. Why, do you ever use different ones, the pink ones, red? Yeah, I like the multicolored ones too.
I have a recipe, I've not made it, but I've tasted it, I've had it out before. It's a red Moroccan lentil
Ooh,
soup.
that sounds good.
It does.
And I bet if you use that technique of cooking things ahead of time too, and you can use canned lentils. It's right on this recipe here. I don't see why you would need to do that since these are so easy to prepare. I need to find a spoon so I can taste this. Excuse me, can I steal one of these? Oh, just sneaking. All right, I think we're almost ready, everybody, to taste it. But I have to see first. Maybe not quite yet. I think it needs a little more salt. Oh, the train's back there again, huh? Sometimes I'll add butter at the end, but like I said, we're trying to make this one. So this is a balsamic vinegar, so this will be the acid to brighten it up. And then I'm going to add a little bit of tomato too. Maybe just the juice to start. So what other things can you guys think of that you might want to learn to cook on a show like this? I'm sure you guys know how to cook. But if chicken wings? You did say that. Well, you could also, how do you make chicken stock? I'm embarrassing you now, I'm sorry.
I just made it for the first time a couple weeks ago.
How did you make it?
I had 4 roasted chicken carcasses, you know, the roasted chicken that you get from the grocery store. And I just added the onions and carrots and celery and boiled it for a couple hours. Simmered it for a couple hours.
Couple hours, that's it?
Yes.
And you feel like it, that's great.
It was delicious, yeah. It was really
Yeah, nice.
I
Nice.
always like to put a little garlic in.
good. Once I made it in soup, I added everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's
I
such an
always do that.
inexpensive way to make the chicken broth, you know, and then you have it for everything. And you can freeze it, you know, put it in ice cube trays, that kind of thing. Put a little more of this. Yeah, I just like to, you know, add in a couple things, taste it as I might need a taste tester though. I don't know. Should I choose you?
Yes, he would like to do that.
Well, you guys are all gonna have to taste it, but I have to perfect it first, right? Any other interesting spices that anybody's tried in lieu of high sodium salt? Curry, yeah, that's a good one. Curry is a nice, cumin nicely accents curry too. I don't think I have any curry. Turmeric. Turmeric's a good one. Yeah.
I made a curry lentil stew.
Yeah.
That was good. That was last year. So it goes with lentils too.
Yeah, goes great. Turmeric I do recommend. I don't always say you need to have organic, but sometimes most of the time turmeric is one of those because of how it's grown. It's a root vegetable and it might not be grown in the most ideal environments, but if it's organic, then it's regulated. So I do recommend doing that. Not all vegetables need, in my opinion, I'm not saying anything about that, but a lot of vegetables you don't have to buy organic, but the ones that have skins on them that you would eat, like an apple, for example, or berries, I would recommend that those be bought organic. Spinach probably is better because of how it's grown and it's difficult to wash off all those pesticides. Anybody have any questions on that? Organic versus non-organic?
I like to, when it's done, add fresh herbs on top.
Yeah.
Chives, green onions,
Nice.
parsley.
Yeah,
That brightens it up.
that's right.
And adds a little flavor other than salt.
Yeah, no, that's good. I have some parsley here, but. So if you want to Google the Dirty Dozen, that will identify the 12 fruits and vegetables that you probably should prioritize buying organic, like I mentioned. Apples, peaches, nectarines, things that have skins on them that you would eat that might be exposed to more pesticides. But if you know where your stuff is coming from and you know the farmer who's growing your food, it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, if it's organic or not. Oh, I love that place, yeah. It is, I think, one of the biggest winter farmers markets in Vermont. You guys ever go to the winter one?
Yeah.
Oh, good, okay.
Is it at the same, is it by the shopping center or is it a different
It's
location?
in the Farmers Food Center, so it's close to the
Okay.
shopping center. Yeah, over near the tree shop. Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you guys, my soup is always better the second day, but I have to just make sure I'm sticking by my promise. Yeah, we definitely need a little more spice in there. How about some ancho chili? Is that okay? It's just a little bit. Like I told you before, I'm not a big fan of red peppers, but I don't mind it if it's ground up. Add a little more. And I think just a few more minutes and then we'll be ready to taste this.
What was that you just added from the can?
A little bit more tomato sauce because I want to add a little more acid. You can add tomatoes to your as a whole. Should I just throw the whole can in? Why not? Go wild, right? They're already cooked. I don't know. I don't know why. What?
Is it tomato sauce?
No, it's diced tomatoes. I'm sorry. I took diced tomatoes. It's in the recipe too.
And just plain diced, not like the ones
Yeah.
that are flavored.
Yeah, plain. I mean, if you want. I mean, that's the beauty of this, is you could add whatever you want into this guy. I think our mission here today was just to show you how easy it is and how inexpensive it is to make something so healthy, right? And you guys will get to take some home as well, and then you can see what I mean about how it's better the second day.
Good snow soup.
Yeah, and it cooks quick. I mean, I haven't really experimented, but I often wonder if you could do this all in the microwave too, because all you'd have to do is really heat up the beans long enough, and then you could add the rest of your ingredients. Let's say you didn't have access to a stove or something. But luckily, we have all the ingredients to send you guys home with. Thanks to the VNA and Heather for setting all of this up, but I think we're just about ready to try it. If you guys are ready, maybe a little bit more spices. Well, we really appreciate you guys coming today. It was a nice audience. I'll tell you, I was a little nervous. Oh no, that I'm going to be aired on 4 different channels. That's really what I was nervous about. But you guys are a sweet audience, and I have got some characters here. But I think I should taste it one more time just to make sure, right? Can't feed you something that I don't think. Yeah, so really the prep time is just the same as the cook time. So you can do this in just less than 45 minutes. Yeah. So raise your hand if you're going to try this at home, if you haven't already. No, it's an easy one. And before we leave here, I feel like we should get some suggestions on future cooking recipe shows. Sounds like we've got some creativity. Stew, well, stew would take too long, I think. We're almost done. We're just doing our taste test.
I love the idea of doing soups in the winter because they are so easy. Most of them come together so quickly, but so hard and cozy.
Well, and then you've got your crock pot. I'm scared to leave my crock pot on all day. I don't know why, I'll be honest. Some people do, but
That's why I love the Instapot.
yeah, the Instapot is great. But sometimes I'll cook in the crock pot. It's not completely done. I'll put it back in the fridge and then just keep doing it the next day when I'm home or something. So that's how I do it. 6. Go, you're welcome. Oh, geez, that was close.
I would have stuck it right at home.
Well, like I said, it's better the next day. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming and joining us. Thanks for making it easy for me.
You go over and get some crackers from the Westminster.
There's crackers
That
there.
would have been nice. Nice and fresh right there.
I don't know.
My mom would have been put this all over the blender or emulsified, so it was real thick and velvety.
I mean, you could do that too.
It's a suggestion.
No, that's a good idea, though.
That's how, when I first started, I'm too lazy to do it, because I just want to eat it. But that's how I always thought liquid food was. Until
Oh,
I got
really?
into the real world.
Really? I'm trying to think if my mom ever did it like that. I don't know. But it's hot, sorry. But I definitely have some for you guys to send home with, and then you could doctor it up yourself at home and try a new recipe. Like I said, it's better the second day, but we just want to show you that you can prepare this as quick as any other soup, if not quicker. So I think we just have about 45 more seconds for the end of the show, but we'll stick around and here for anything that you want to talk about after. But thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.